there, geometry students. We're continuing to work on quadrilaterals in section 6-5. We are covering rhombi, which is plural for rhombus, and squares. In our first section of this lesson, we're talking about a rhombus. It is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides. Take a minute and look at the characteristics below and decide which characteristics exist in a rhombus. Pause the video. All right, let's see if you're correct. If it's a parallelogram, then opposite sides are going to be parallel. Opposite sides are going to be equal as well. Opposite angles are also going to be equal. Now let's go back to number 2 for just a minute. Not just opposite sides are equal, but all sides are equal. Number 4, yes, the adjacent angles are going to be supplementary. In number 5, diagonals are not equal. Look at the picture there. In number 6, diagonals do bisect the angles. Let's draw a picture of that. I got a rhombus, and I have my diagonal. These 2 angles are going to be the same amount. That's what bisect means. This angle is equal, so this angle is going to be the same amount. When this cuts through, those 2 are going to be the same amount. So
Mr. Writer, please call the office.
Are going to
Sam Hill to the office, please.
They're going to be equal. I'm doing it at the end of the day. This diagonal is bisecting the angle as well, making those 2 angles equal, and those 2 angles equal. Diagonals bisect each other. That is correct. Let's draw a rhombus. The diagonals are bisecting each other. Those 2 are equal, and these 2 are equal. Not all 4 are equal. And then your last thing, those are marked. Diagonals are perpendicular. So when you have your diagonals intersect, you have a right angle. All right, let's apply our characteristics to some problems. In the next section, it says complete the problems relating to the rhombus. In number 1, I ask you to find the measure of angle 1. Yes, you're right. Those are perpendicular, so that's 90 degrees. In number 2, I ask you to find angle DAC. You're right, the angle is being bisected, 32 degrees. Number 3, you have to find angle 1. At that point you're going, don't know that angle, don't know that angle, don't know that angle. In this problem, you're going to use that triangle. 180 degrees in the triangle minus the 90 minus the 32. Measure of angle 1 equals 58 degrees. Let's look at the next problem. I already wrote my expressions in for the angles. CDB is 6y. ACB is 2y plus 10. This angle is not equal to that angle. This angle and that angle are equal, so this is 2y plus 10. Once again, you can use your triangle. 2y plus 10 plus 6y plus 90 is 180. Okay, get your like terms together. That's a y. That's 100. Equals 180. Oh, 100. Okay, get your 100 over there. You're already probably working it, aren't you? Y equals 80. Y equals 10. Let's move on to our next quadrilateral, which is a square. A square is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides and 4 right angles. Pause the video and read through the characteristics and check mark the ones that you think exist in a square. All right, yes, number one, opposite sides are parallel. It is a parallelogram. Opposite sides are going to be parallel. Opposite sides are equal. You're right on that. All sides are equal in a square. Opposite angles are equal. Yes, they are. All angles equal 90 degrees. Adjacent angles are supplementary. Your diagonals are going to be equal. I'm going to draw a little picture here. My diagonal is equal, and that diagonal is equal. I'm going to run down here to number 7. Diagonals bisect each other. They do. In fact, all 4 little pieces are equal. All sections of the diagonals are equal. Number 6, the diagonal does bisect the angle. Now, look at this, people. Let's talk about this. You got a square. Okay, that's 90 degrees, right? When this diagonal cuts through there, how much is each angle going to be then? It's bisecting. You're right, it's 45 and 45. So if I draw on the other diagonal, those angles are going to be 45 as well. I'm not going to write all those angles in. There, 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 there. Those are all 45. The last characteristic also exists. All 8 of these exist in a square. Yeah, diagonals are perpendicular. You're going to have right angles, perpendicular in the center. Let's take a look at our problems that relate to squares. Complete the problems related to the square. Find the measure of A, C, B. Now, I put this on a quiz or a test, and somebody usually comes up and says, oh, Miss Hefty, I don't think you got enough numbers here. No, we should know that that's 45 degrees. That's 90, and it's being bisected. Here's a true test to see if you've watched the video or not. That's not supposed to be a C. It's supposed to be a B. Will you please change that in number 2? It's angle A, E, B. How many degrees is that? You're right, perpendicular. 90. Number 3 asks us to find AB. Here's AB. AE is 3. Well, these all are equal. All the parts of the diagonals are equal, so that's 3 as well. I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem here, people. I'm going to go 3 squared plus 3 squared equals x. Whoops, where am I getting 3 from? It's a 4. It's a 4. I'm sure you're saying, where is she getting 3 from? It's a 4. It's a 4. 4 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. That's 16 x squared. 32 is x squared. You gotta go up here. X equals root 32. Now you guys gotta write things in radicals here. All right, simplify that radical. I like to work in perfect squares. 16 would be 4 times 4. That's a perfect square. 16 times 2. That way I can go square root of 16 is 4. Root 2. You could do your prime factorization and pull out your factors that way if you want. Next section, we're given a square, and PQ is 3 root 2. I already have that written down. And AP is 3. Also, we'll get to skip a couple of problems here, so those people that haven't watched the video and done it on their own, they are doing a little extra work. Meet AQ. AQ. There's AQ. Well, we knew all those 4 pieces are equal, so AQ is 3. Bottom problem asks you to find PM. That's the whole diagonal. You're right. This piece is 3, and this piece is 3, then PM is 6. All right, let's move on to the last problem, which is graphing. We have to decide if the parallelogram is a rhombus, a rectangle, or a square. We're given the vertices. You're not going to be able to graph these. So I already got my kind of a rough sketch down here. If you want to pause the video and get your rough sketch drawn, that's helpful. Okay, you're back. All right, now, what we're going to do here is, yeah, you're saying, oh, maybe I need to be checking all the sides for slopes and lengths and stuff like that. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 distances, 4 slopes. You can just check your diagonals, guys. Check your diagonals, slopes and lengths. So I'm going to check my length of AC. I'm going to use my distance formula because I can't use my graph anymore. I'm going to go x minus x squared. I'm doing AC. I'm doing -3 minus 5. I'm going to do my y's now. Yep, you're right. You already got it written down. -3 minus 3 squared. Length. AC equals √3. I mean, not √3. -8. -8 squared is 64 plus 0. Okay, so your length, it happens to be an integer. Square root of 64 is 8. If it's not, I just keep it in root form. Now I need to find my length of BD, the other diagonal. So I'm going to go root. I'm going to take my x's. 1 minus 1, that's going to be 0. Plus, I'm taking my y's, -7 minus 1. Oh, that makes me a happy lady here because I'm going to get what I had before. Length of BD equals root. That's 0. This is -8. -8 squared is 64. My length of BD is going to be 8. And again, if you get a root, just keep it in root form, guys. Okay? There we go. All right, so my diagonals are equal. Abbreviate that. Okay, now I gotta go check my slopes. I'm gonna come over here. I need to check my slopes of my diagonals. I'm gonna check slope AC, and I'm gonna check my slope DB. Remember, slope is y minus y. So AC, I got -3, -3, minus a -3. That's 0 on the top. X is on the bottom. -3 minus 5, that's -8. Okay, 0 over -8 is a 0 slope. That's a horizontal slope. DB slope. Take your x's, no, y's on top. -7 minus 1. Okay, that's -8. Oh, it makes me happy because it kind of didn't flip right. That'd be perpendicular. Right, x is 1, 1 minus 1, that's 0. Okay, good. 0 on the bottom is undefined. So 0 and undefined are perpendicular. So I do have an AC perpendicular to BD. So let's take a look up here. I'm looking at my rhombus right now, guys. Rhombus. Perpendicular diagonals. All right, do I have perpendicular diagonals? Yes, I do. So I'm going to have it's going to be a rhombus. Looking at the characteristics of diagonals is what I'm doing. Rectangle, equal diagonals. Do I have equal diagonals? I do. So I can write rectangle down as well. And my square. My square has equal and diagonals perpendicular. So I have both of those, so it is also a square. So sometimes you're going to write more than one answer down. I have all 3 in this example. Right? Well, thank you for watching the video, and have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.